Hello guys, we are live. Welcome to Cat Tarot. I'm Cat. I'm going to play some music until we got her, and then we are going to jump right in. So let's start with inspiring guitar. Hello Kylie, hello Crystal, Knitting Yogi, Barbie's here, Sally's here. Good morning, good morning. Safi's here. Safi, wanna show your face? Good morning, good morning. Hello everybody. Hopefully everybody had a nice week. We are guys entering Freak Month. People will be jumping to conclusions. People will be creating injustice. Remember, this is Libra, right? And pendulum swings two ways. It can be lots of freakouts, can be paranoia. If you listen to the monthlies, that's pretty much what it is. So buckle up. If you can take a month off and not to deal with somebody, they still will find you, I guess. Oh, I still didn't remove my text over here, so just remove that. So we have unobstructed screen over here. I took a Levelin deck today. It's a little bit larger in hands, but it's a really beautiful, watercolor inside. So we are going to be dealing with this, and we are going to start with Libra. It is your birthday, Libra. So this is, we are going to start. Ooh, I don't have the scribble paper for Barbie. So what do I do with this? I hope Barbie is taking notes herself, but I'm going to just do them here and go as we and write them as we come. Then print the big thing. Okay, so Libra is first, and this little thing here will be second. I have angel cards here, and I have this very, very beautiful deck. I really have to tell you that it was not Rider-Waite that kind of like really drew me to tarot. It was this deck. This is the original deck that I have been using. Oh, this is shameful to admit, but 25, 27 years. It's actually still in a good shape because it's also very, very good quality. Look at that. We have people. I'm glad to see that. We have sort of like weird weather in Toronto. It's cold. It's not winter cold, but it kind of like came suddenly from really, really hot last weekend. So let's start. Libra will be first. And happy birthday to Libra. Barbie, I did get your thing. It's going to be coming upcoming week. Barbie's having a birthday. Is it on the 15th? So happy early birthday wishes, Barbie. Ms. Libra. So just let's see what's happening over here. So let's get into it. And I hope you guys that they did check my monthlies. And if you're not, because YouTube is still creating this mess. You would not believe it when I look at my stats, and that's why I kind of like, I'm losing enthusiasm. It's kind of hard to deal with that. It's for 3 years in a row. Like, I can see thousands of people just being taken from my account, and then thousands added. It kind of like they go around the same number, but that number is not moving. And then I had actually lots of notifications from people said, well, I was subscribed to you, but now I'm not, so I'm resubscribing. So please check it out. I guess if you got this invite, probably this is not your case. But also it will be good to be on my mailing list, and you can get there if you go on my website. So you got a whole bunch of cards coming through. One theme that was very, very prevalent in my monthly readings was that a card for the sign came through. Look at it. Libra is getting Justice card over here, right? It is reversed. Now, some readers, and actually majority, like school of thought in tarot is, if you have a card that represents this sign, just ignore it. This is just meaning that, you know, you don't have to read it. This is clearly identification of that sign. I kind of like disagree with that, and the reason for that is, like, to me, this means that this is a higher vibration, that I'm really connecting. Ooh, Ileana Gonzalez, congrats, yay. So let's see what's going to happen. She is not going to like coming out of the tummy, I'm going to tell you very much, but she's eager to get out. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I haven't been reading for unborn baby, but I can totally see this, so I'm going to add to that in a second. So Libra, your card show through. Like, that means to me, A, your spirit guides are here, and B, that this is clearly a message we need to see. Like, they're very much what is the core of you, which should be justice, which should be honesty, which should be speaking your truth, is now challenged, or you feel violated, or you feel that some kind of like injustice is happening against you. You feel that maybe some people are in cahoots, and could be 3 people. There is like this kind of like dew that is opening all of it. It's a full moon over here. Full moon, we're still under influence of full moon right now, so this is very prevalent. There is like a feeling that you want to give up, kind of like on something, right? And that you just kind of like want to walk away. This is kind of really interesting card, because all of these cups are full. So just imagine you're sometimes desperate, you just like want to get one salary, right? Just want to get some job, and then, you know, you get the second month the salary, third month, fourth month. So by the 8th month you're actually very solid over there, and then this person is leaving. What does that mean? And if you're hearing this commotion behind me, that's the Safi and Tiger are now buddies and chasing each other. She provokes him and he chases her around, and then she insists that he pets her, which is amazing because I don't have to do all the work. So here it is, like, what are you walking away from that you were actually quite happy with, that you have been sustaining something maybe that has been lasting for 8 months. There's like something going toward a full moon is like going toward unknown. Even though this is supposed to represent the sun, to me it does look like the moon, and this could be the second moon this month, which is on the 31st. So these moon phases are clearly going to mess you up. You have extremely high emotional input this week, and it's going to range through a whole bunch of things. Look, you have the 8, you have a 7, almost like you're returning back to some old issues. You are a little disenchanted, maybe bored, maybe you're not seeing the solution, maybe you feel you know, that something else is out there better for you, that you kind of like have to deal with things differently. This clearly feels that something that you have set in your head for things to go forward might get challenged. Like, there is like the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups, it generally talks about somebody who has like way too many wishes, right? You know, when they say too good to be true, so you want this and this and this, and in the end it's kind of like weird creating this kind of situation. And I always kind of relate to something that happened to me. It's a really weird thing. I walked into Reitman's, and I don't know if you guys Americans have it. Good morning, Chris. And I totally knew, I saw a white shirt that I really liked and I wanted to buy it. And as I walked in, and I'm telling exactly my size and the shirt, and the sales lady tells me, oh, we have the same in black. So I have ascendant Libra. So what happens now? From the determination of Aquarius, I'm shifting to Libra mode. So saying, okay, can I see it? Instead of just give me the damn white one and I'm gone, right? So now I try the black one. And it's nothing wrong about the fit, but in the black shirt, like the lack of quality in material is really glaring, which I haven't noticed in the white one. So now I'm comparing the two, and I'm looking, and I cannot make decision. Now I'm not sold on something that have been sold. So guess what happens? I just walked away without purchasing anything at all. And that kind of like always stuck with me. That's kind of Libra in me. And this is sort of like the card that would display this. Kind of like there are too many choices, too many cooks spoil the broth kind of a thing. This came reversed. So maybe some choices are no longer optional. So let's go for a second to Ileana, because it's going to be a big celebration. Ileana, if this is your baby, which is a Libra, baby wants to get out, right? Absolutely get out. It's freaking bored being in that water. It bored. So you better play some kind of like music. I don't know if you're getting cesarean, because that can also mean this as well. And this could also mean that she's not going to like getting out, because it's going to feel harsh. That could be either meaning cesarean or harsh, right? And she's going to find like it's going to be too many people, and that's going to be very, very confusing. But then again, it's going to be okay. I don't have any other options. So you see, that's kind of like what it shows over here. So that's going to be traumatic for the baby over here, because baby, your baby has the intellect. Your baby did pick up lots of sounds and lots of things already over this period of incubation or pregnancy, rather to say. And it kind of like said, well, I will do this when I get out, I'll do this when I get out, I'll do this. And then instead is that kind of like harshness. And be very careful that don't kind of like do this cut close to the baby. And I think if you have some music that you can play at a time, if you are very supporting of the baby, things can actually get through properly. So there it goes. Look at Barb. Life is a Libra. Yeah, but you Librans feel it more. Like for the rest of us, like we are just swimming in shallow waters, and you go deep and you see the sharks, and you see whales, you see like, jellyfish and all this other stuff. So all the best, Ileana, for the upcoming birth. And just as I said, you need to suit this baby. It's just freaking amazing. I was like feeling a really, really strongly that your baby was present over here. It was showing right there. So let me know how it goes. Okay, so who is the next one? Next one is Pisces. Okay, Pisces. Okay. Right, we have a sip of coffee. Is everybody else having a sip of coffee? Can we give a round of applause to Barb? She's the master moderator, and she does such a good job. After the live, I just say, oh, here is my notes. I take a picture of it, and she posts this, and she announces everybody, yeah, I'm going to do it. So people stop complaining since Barbie's stepped in. Oh, I don't know where to start. This is such a long thing. I cannot watch the whole thing. And that's Barbie who is doing that. So thank you, Barbie. Plus her birthday is coming up. So there you go. So, Pisces, welcome, sweetie. You deserve it. We are chatty today. I think this weather finally is kind of grounding us, and I'm glad to see that we are a little bit more chatty. So. And Barbie, that's it. Relaxing music and relax. I don't know. Do you want me to put the music in the background, something also, or you just want no music to focus better? So I can do either. But some people complain that kind of background music takes them away, so I stopped with this. So Pisces, you have 10 of Wands reversed. You have King of Pentacles reversed. You have a Tower reversed. I did warn you all in my monthlies. This is not going to be serenade month. For me, the last 2 days are already rocking. I don't even want to go into details, but things are really, really exploding around. So I kind of like did go and watch my own kind of like Taroscope and said, geesh, right? So 10 of Wands is an interesting card. This guy is carrying a whole bunch of things. He's taking one as his stick, but he has to go up the stairs and he has to get to this house. From comparison with the other basically decks, he actually has this better place, but nonetheless this is still very heavy. It looks very deceptively light, but try to pick one stick, probably you will have no problem. Try to pick up 2, 3. So now the best way is to imagine that this is just basically a piece of the tree that's very, very heavy. It's literally breaking his back. He's an old man. He's a wise man. He should know better, right? No music. That's why Libra baby wants to show up. That's cute. Okay, guys. So you see, like, I mean, I'm listening to it. Sometimes I feel, aren't you bored? I'm just talking and you're not having any music background. But then I go on some other videos that I watch, and once when I tune in that background, it doesn't necessarily bother me. But once when I tune in, that's all I can hear, and then it starts to annoy me. So this was reverse, guys. Hello, Xavi. Do you love Pisces? How much? No, not very much? Do you want to chase with tiger? You put your furry butt in my nose. So this guy who is now overextended, who just carrying too much, there's some kind of burdens, there are some issues, there's like something that needs to be carried from one place to another, right? He wants to reach the safety, and he feels if he gets there, that can be used for warmth, for nurturing. Don't do it, please. It is reversed though, which is way better for this card. This in reversal, it means, Safi, we have the fur displayed over there. In the reversal, this card talks about, okay, he kind of is realizing that something is too much, that certain things are getting in a way, and that he just needs to drop it. He kind of like has to either pace himself or figure out what is important, and so on and so forth. It could have been that you guys try to have a relationship with someone who may have been holding secrets from you, and this is why this King of Pentacles showed up. King of Pentacles can appear to be, you know, that dream king, the prince that becomes king, because he usually is wealthy. He either has a really good position or his own business. So money is not an issue, which for most of us it is. It's not necessarily that we need to struggle for it, but like, I mean, we cannot just spend willy-nilly, while this guy can. So maybe this is also like a burden of some sort. It's kind of like interesting that maybe it's going away. Maybe you have been dealing with somebody who kind of like maybe introduced some form of hardship in your life, or you got cut off, or something has been given, now it's not given. But another thing that I get from King of Pentacles is that could be a dude that, or a woman, somebody who is involved otherwise. So that could be somebody in a relationship or a marriage, and that's maybe the secret is coming through. You know, very often, and that's when I do coaching, I have women who are dealing with men, and they approach me, well, he has a commitment issues. Well, commitment issue turns out to be the man is separated, and the separated man, quote unquote, cannot leave the wife because enter anything, kids, work, not a good time, his mother is sick, he has some health issues. It's always something until the other person calms down, and then if the whole system of requests for kind of like clearing the situation reoccurs, then his medical situation, everything else reoccurs. It's a cyclical, right? So this, something like that, I'm sorry to say, I see it here. Because you also have this Nine of Pentacles here peaking, that you're almost like feeling you are retrograding and that you're going back into something. Because when Tower shows up, it's not a romantic movie. This is a horror movie. And this horror here is like when you're screaming and you are being scared and what's coming next. Oh my gosh, what will I do? But when this reverses, is not that kind of horror. It's something that is, what they call it, slow moving, slow revolving, where you kind of like, you're almost bored, you don't see anything problematic, but that's because they lull you into a situation of you you're feeling that there's nothing wrong. Meanwhile, you know, you hear shh, shh, and then kind of like you're thinking, okay, was something moving in the forest? You're walking through the forest and you see nothing, and all of a sudden you're seeing a whole bunch of snakes from everywhere, right? So that's kind of like the tower that starts to happen, right? That's happened to me in Tiger, like, I mean, a couple of days ago. It's just like I've seen this huge garter snake, and I hate snakes. It's like I was screaming like a little baby. So this means that you're clueless about something, and something is going to jump into you and is going to come as a big surprise. And I didn't draw the angel card for Libra because either Barbie, I'm going to blame it on Barbie, didn't tell me. I mean, this is just, I'm being facetious because I forgot. So this is for Libra, Awakening. Maybe you can put this as a title of the thing. So let's put here. And I cannot write today. Awakening for Libra was, come on, like, I mean, set the stage right. Like, remember how I was talking about music? There we have the music, there we have the sunshine. And Liana, you're going to have, looks like a sunny day for this. Maybe you want to call your baby Sunny of something. So let's see for you, Pisces. Pisces, respect. And because I don't have that many viewers over here, guys, what we can do in addition to doors, but I'm going to allow Barb to discuss it with the other mods or make the final decision. If you want, I can pull one card for each of you mods, so that way you get something. But look at here, this respect, and I think this is really good. You are demanding respect. Something has been getting out of hand. You feel a little bit violated. You feel... Ooh, Orion, sorry, thank you. We picked means braided star. So this is it. You see, we are in sync. That's really, really cool. Okay, so Kylie, that's awesome. So if you, Chris, Knitting Yogi, and Sally agree on that, so we can actually add this to our protocol. So I think that could be really cool. Or even add this to extras in between. Like, I mean, so whenever Barbie calls, then we can do it. But just like all of you, if you can just put yes, then we can do it. So respect, guys. Respect. What is the song? I mean, demand respect. It is very, very important. It's interestingly because I just looked in the bowl, and this card was staring at me. Love, respect. Something has been happening to you, I think, because you guys so sweet, that somebody just simply violated that sweetness, and they thought they're going to pull wool over your face. Don't they know that the Pisces have the two fishes and the other one can be piranha? Don't they know that? Well, they'll find out. That's all I have to say. So, all right, cool. So, how many, like, let's do after 4 signs, I can pull a few cards, and then after 6 signs, we are going to do doors. And then after 8 signs, I'm going to pull a few more angel cards for you guys here present. And then we'll have the doors in the end. So that way we have it, right? So, but I think we have the majority, even though it would be good to have a Chris and Sally. Sally may be doing something else at this stage. All right. So, Aries. Aries, you are next. Let me put them here. Aries. Aries. And if I pull the card for you guys, please, what I would like back from you, just say if this resonates or if you can see how this connects in your life. That would really help for all of us, kind of like keep us connected. And I kind of like really like it how, you know, I connected with Eliana Kiddo. So this is really, really awesome. So let's see. Aries. Aries. You're getting the, ooh, you're getting 10 of Cups. You're getting Page of Swords. Do you have somebody who is jealous of your happiness? Is there something like that? Oh, the Tower. What's going on here, Aries? Well, it's not you. Don't even think that. Like, I mean, I'm just seeing that you are kind of like entering this week with some kind of like lovey-dovey situation. You're having a family gathering. There are things happening. They are like, I mean, look at this rainbow over the house. Isn't this card so much more beautiful than the regular Rider White? And the kids are sitting. And like literally yesterday, I was like in one National Reserve, I guess they call it. I was just going around, had to kind of pick something from uh, from the store. I got myself Uggs already for the winter. So I said, when we're in the area, let's drop by because I just want you, Tiger, to go for a walk. We went there, and I swear to you, this is kind of like how it looked. Of course, without cops and without people, because it was just two of us, to a point that I thought, oh my gosh, I just got lost. And then I'm receiving a phone call that I'm on a call and talking and said, now I'm really lost. Now I cannot even track mentally where I came from. But I think I have a really good navigation system built inside of me, because somehow all of a sudden I walked out from this forest and we were right where I was supposed to be. So it was awesome. For you guys, you are starting like with this enchantment. You're starting with a feeling of emotional contentment, not only with you but everybody. There is like nobody's rocking the boat, nobody's happy, and maybe this is the weekend, and then it looks like you come to work or the week starts and hell breaks loose. First of all, Page of Swords is one of them who is demanding answers. They don't want to take that you are sick or that you are caring for somebody, that you're driving. They need to deal with you right now. There's not much people skills over here, so that could be your child. You know how they're, what is this, what is this, what is this, what is this, right? And it's just like something that needs to be addressed. Like when this dude reverses, it also can talk about somebody spying on you and looking into your own stuff. And that is going to be known to you because your tower is upright. When tower gets upright, it's something shocking. You literally are left puzzled, you're left worried, you're left with anxiety. Things that you didn't even think could be wrong are all of a sudden wrong. You're being accused of something. You're seeing that some foundations that you have been dealing with are just simply vanishing. So it is just like giving us a very uneasy, rattling kind of like feel. The good news about this is, and not so much in this card, we don't see people jumping, and I don't even see the tower fully being wrecked, but it's kind of like getting damaged. So that damage needs to be repaired. Well, there is a good news in this card that damage is there and people involved were not even aware of that damage, and now that the damage becomes evident, and meaning that it has to be repaired, meaning that two parties actually do want to have them repaired, right? Because this is a card 16. Guess what happens after this card? 17. And 17 is the star, and she comes and nourish, and she comes and gives you food. She kind of like brings you back to life. She brings your self-esteem. She gives you hope. So this is a meaning of something that maybe if you're thinking something is collapsing, mind you, it can literally mean an earthquake. It can literally mean that basically is rendered in the last possible second and things really happen. And the reason why I'm saying this is because my brother lives in Zagreb, and Zagreb keeps having one earthquake a week. They're almost becoming like Tokyo ever since the earthquake in March, which kind of like destroyed my house over there. See how it is, like one day you have property, another day you don't have property, and there's like nothing you can do with the act of God. They will not even pay you, so you just have to understand your losses. So Aries, be very careful, enjoy your weekend, but trust no one, absolutely no one. That's what I would tell you, right? So one more before the oh, I didn't take this one for you. You have enthusiasm. Well, I guess you're going to apply your proverbial enthusiasm. Be very careful with this, because in psychology they say that you have to match the mood of your co-speaker. So if somebody's angry and you are very, very happy on the other side, you'll rub them the wrong way just as equally they rub you the wrong way. So enthusiasm is good, but you need to have it appropriate to the situation, right? That is really, really important. So let me see. A sip of coffee and catch up with you. Hello, Heidi. Nice to see you. So let's see. In Florida, I get many interruptions. I have a handicapped son. He's okay, but he gets up and I have to go. Yeah, that's really something. I mean, I know Sally very well. I don't want to say anything publicly, but that woman, what she went through, it's unbelievable, right? So Kylie has dealt with a very jealous person this week. They're no longer in my life. It's inevitable as we grow and find peace and happiness. You'll face people that are not happy for you and want to sabotage. That's pretty much what was happening to me as well, right? So Sally, don't leave. You have to stay around, or if she has to go, let's pull the card for her if she has to go, and then we are going to do it for everybody else in the next sign. So Sally, what you're getting is synthesis. You probably, I just had a reading for Sally, and so maybe there's going to be something that you'll be able to draw from it, and it's going to kind of give you ability to kind of like look up and feel better about it. So let's use Sally. One more sign. Welcome, love. I love you too. Oh, I didn't pull that sign, and that sign will be Taurus. Do we have any Taurus around? Taurus. Yes. Taurus. Welcome. Taurus. We have Five of Swords. We have Three of Wands. Oh, that's a Taurus rising, Chris. You're like strong earth. And then you have Wheel of Fortune. This is really weird. Chris is Taurus rising. If you have any other Taurus over here, it's going to be very interesting. First and foremost, this Five of Swords is one of those cards that is telling you that if you're going to go through negotiations, if you want to accomplish something, by you being quote unquote clear winner and everybody else a loser, as we are seeing in this card, you're actually not going to win. It's called Pyrrhic victory. Pyrrhic victory means, like, I mean, you're celebrating how you outsmarted a 5-year-old playing chess, right? So technically not a really victory, but nonetheless, by claiming that, somebody looks silly. So even though something is just being handed down to you, even though something is being given, be very careful how to do it, because the same theme is basically repeating in this card. You might actually lose by thinking you have won. And how would you lose? This is my card of ships, relationships, friendships, right? Partnerships. So this is swords, meaning that could be some kind of words, could be communication, could be 3 people, could be 5 people in the room, or talking about other people's, could be like entirely 5 of them in total. So it could be kind of like 2 major players sort of like against you, or they might have different ideas. And try not to shame anybody. Try to always give a complete credit for something that they have brought to the table, even though that might not be applicable at this moment. Still kind of like to be acknowledged would be very, very important, right? In terms of private relationships, this could mean that possibly a third-party person. There's like somebody who is messing with this whole freaking entire system, and I think you are thinking, I just want to walk away from that. This could be somebody telling you how you should be behaving, and you're already not feeling comfortable in the situation, and now you're feeling even more irritated. They're actually telling you how you should feel. This is the worst customer comeback. Oh, I know how you feel. No, actually you don't. But I'm not really worried for you very much, guys, even though it looks like it's going to whole week is going to have this gnawing and weirdest kind of like attitudes and something, right? But you're coming on top. You're getting this karma card, and whatever this was, you're resolving this. You're managing to kind of like glue this like parts that are separated, and so on and so forth, right? So this card is always about not settling in when you're feeling well, but also not feeling devastated when something really goes bad, because this karma wheel continuously spins. At this particular stage, you're going to end this week with a huge sense of accomplishment. You're going to be really proud of yourself, because I think you're going to do something that is not technically how you do things, but the rewards are going to be good for you kind of like doing things differently, right? So let's do this. Ileana, I do private readings. You can go on cattarot.ca and check it out, or you can, in the description, you can see my email and just send me an email and we can chat over email later. You guys have depth, and depth is connecting with emotions, and it's pretty much about you're shifting your emotional, I guess, fabric, I would say, right? So this is really kind of like important to look. Yeah, why did you come and help Taurus, right? Depth to me means that you have to look inside of yourself. The hardest thing to fix, and tell me this because English is my third language, or is it fourth language? Third language. French is the fourth, and it's really weak. Don't ask me to speak in French, because first they laugh very badly at my accent, so which doesn't helping you kind of like study more, and two, like vocabulary is really poor. But this really tells me you kind of like really need to go in depth. You need to kind of like figure out what is favorable for you, what is that you really want to do, right, about things. And also if you could be maybe a source of some kind of issues. So, you know, if you have this ability for introspection, that's huge. Some people say huge. That's it, because then you can fix it, right? Okay, so let's pick a few cards, and I'll be calling names and give you the card, and you guys give me your feedback. And if I don't call any name, it's just because I don't see it here, then you reappear and kind of like will tell me. Okay, so we're starting with Barbie. Barbie, you are getting exploration. Is Barbie looking for some trip, or are you looking in photography, or simply like you are like stepping into something new? If you're not, you should. This is like clearly well positioned, right? So let's see. Oh, background music here, and Here Comes the Sun, the Beatles. It's kind of like weird, like, I mean, these guys on bicycles passed by me this morning when I was walking Tiger, and they were thinking, singing the song, and don't let me sing because I'm a horrible singer, but like there was a da 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 da, and this guy goes, what is that song, what is the song? The other guy's on the other bike, and I remember that song, and it will continue. Good morning sunshine. I know it only from the Hair musical, right? But looks like he said, oh, I just learned it in a musical school. So Barbie, you have respect, you have my respect, and you should demand respect. If somebody doesn't give it to you, it just simply means that, you know, you might want to withdraw from the situation, you might want not to be a part of it, but clearly you are respect worthy, and you should demand respect if you are not given, right? So, all right. Who was next? Let me go back in the order of appearance for the other mods. So Kylie was first. So the next one is Kylie. Sorry guys, my mods come here. I need to reward them. And they're always here helping, answering these questions, so I can just focus on reading. So this is the very little I can do for them. Kylie, you're getting peace. This is like almost like the Four of Cups, but without that negative connotation. Since you guys are in the southern hemisphere, you're probably getting into the springish weather right now. As much as we're going, go sit out, go sit under a tree, go connected. Like, you know, this aboriginal cultures that I usually have in one of my decks is clearly telling you need to spend there. You need to kind of like connect with the very origin where we came from, and that's going to bring you some sense of comfort and sense of peace. So it could be good. Then the next one is Needing Yogi. Needing Yogi. Let me just have a sip of my coffee. you are getting expansiveness. But look at it, these are like air balloons. You're going to be seeing a big picture of some kind of like sort. You'll be looking into you'll be looking up the optimism, big picture, how do you resolve and what kind of like directions you're moving. That's going to be really, really big thing. Even though the clouds are suggesting that from time to time you might kind of like enter a foggy situation, just kind of like walk through it, step in front of another, is going to disperse really, really quickly, right? So the next one, Sally got hers, and Kylie, Barb knitting yogi, Kylie knitting yogi. Any other mods? I have lots of mods, but that not show up at the same time. Sally, Barb knitting yogi. Oh, I think Chris. That is Chris now. Chris. For Chris, it is flexibility. Is it literal that Chris needs to do some yoga, or Chris maybe has back problems? Or this simply can means very metaphorical, kind of like be open to kind of like expand yourself a little bit more and kind of like do it that way. So that'll be for Chris. And who else do I have here? I think I covered you all for the first round. If I haven't, lift your arm up and let me know. I'm just still scrolling. So how is this, guys, for you? What else do I see? Kylie, that's my exact energy. I'm at peace. Thank you, Kat. I'm so glad to hear it. You see, you guys are having you're having spirit guides connecting with you. That's freaking awesome. Awesome. Okay, Chris is doing something else, so he should figure out where it was his thing, and this is for the mods, so I'm not going to even put it here on the list. So knitting yoga, that fits leaving behind limiting people and situations. Yeah, and you can throw marbles from up there, you know, or flowers or whatever. I'm being sarcastic here. Okay, so let's go. Next, we are going, and then now everybody, guys, just hold on. After 2 more readings, then we are going to have the questions for everybody. So now we have the Scorpio next. Scorpio. So this one wants to stay, and this one is 7 of Pentacles. This one wants to come out. Ooh, 2 of Cups reversed. What sense does that make? Then we have like a 7 of Cups reversed. Then we have 3 of Swords and 4 of Pentacles. Well, as I was saying in my monthlies, Scorpio. Hey, did you come to support Scorpio? Scorpios are going to have a really tricky month, even though on October 22nd we are shifting to Scorpio and their energy is going to overtake. It's not, but this Libra energy is really, really rattling you. So this will be Libra energy. This would be your energy, kind of like that happens after 22nd, but we are just doing this for a week right now. So it's still kind of like appearing here and there. And then you also have grounding energy, and it is some kind of like healing that is coming through, that some healing has to take place. This tells me that is a possible breakup, whether it's going to be you or somebody else who's going to do it, or you might even hear about somebody else's breakup that is not even affecting you directly, but that is still a very important part of your life. I have a student of mine in tarot school. She's actually right now, and she had to go and live. I asked them to live the card, so she had to live death card. So I said, just pay attention about what's happening around you. She said, well, nothing, everything went fine, but this woman, her, I think I remember, I don't know who, but I think a spouse died, and we were like signing this card, and as I was signing this card, I was like so taken with all the memories and everything. She said, I was like really, really sad. And so you see how that can connect. So over here, guys, I'm seeing that you look at this, you have these two sevens, meaning that you consider yourself very spiritual, and you also felt that you were putting some kind of relationship on the proper tracks. Like, right, this is the card about building it, and you're saying, okay, not everything is bearing fruits, but I know it will. I just need to continue, right? And I don't know if you can see it hidden. It almost looks like a hidden hand or God or something. And it's also dedication to continue. And then it looks like something happened. Something happened. That is collapsing somebody. This is technically a good card when it reverses, but in this combination, it's not that great. It really means that there is like some intensity. It's almost like I'm picking up that somebody is insisting things have to be done just his way or her way. Somebody's like really adamant about that. And the truth is that situation has to be resolved differently. There is somebody's feeling that they are not heard, and somebody else is feeling that maybe the relationship is not entirely fulfilling, and they also have fear of it. That's why we have the Two of Cups that is reversing over here, right? So what would need to happen over here to kind of like reestablish going back into kind of like this firm ground, if possible? If this is a third party, then all of these hopes that things are going to get better are all of a sudden you're facing them. It's a Libra period, Scorpio. So until the 21st, you'll be just looking in everything that is freaking wrong. You can see the person entering your, condo building, and you say, what are you doing here? You didn't buzz, right? You're going to start filtering lots of wrong things happening, right? And really, what you really need to focus is if certain things are coming through spiritual that you need to hear. Have you been heard? Is maybe somebody competing with you and with your work, or you are competing with them, with your partner and the work? There are like things at play over here. So let me see what Angel's saying over here. See? Contentment. You would tend to think this is a great card, but is somebody content and completely not realizing that the other person isn't? The other person still has dreams and things that they want to do, and this is why this is all creating conflict. You're going to be shaken off this week. Certain things will really need to be addressed. This is to me a promising card, the Four of Pentacles reverse, because it means somebody's willing to take the walls down and show vulnerability, which means that this is like a really true connection when you're willing to really tell your true feelings and not to kind of like out of pride, not to communicate or let a good partner slide. So the conversation will be important. I like that quote. A no is a complete sentence. That's actually really, really cute. Okay, 2, 4, 5, one more, I guess. And just one more chance. Sagittarius, that was like a weird reading. And then somebody wrote such a really ridiculous note on Sagittarius, kind of like, all of you readers, I don't even remember what it was. I just didn't react. I just said, okay, you know what? Do you know this tool that we readers have? This tool is called block. And I blocked it, and I said, I don't want to listen to this. I'm spending lots of time and effort. If you cannot value, there are like many, many, many other channels to do so. So let's see. Sagittarius. Well, sometimes night doesn't work because people who are professional con men take nice as a sign of weakness and take nice as an encroachment kind of like point. So it is really important to be very, very careful with this. So Sagittarius. Okay, let's see what we get here. We are getting Page of Wands, which could be you. We are getting Two of Wands, which is you. Ooh, and we are getting Two of Cups. That's kind of very similar to your reading, isn't it? So Page of Wands is you're like like your energy revived. You have the energy of trying to do things, right? Like I think your reading was more or less that you got settled in something, in some situation, and you try to convince yourself that you're okay over there. And now you're getting this week, and it was showing there, if I remember vaguely, and I kind of like, after all this information, sometimes cannot sort them out properly, that you're going to question that. I think it was something along those lines. So I can see here, this is it. He is ready. He's ready to start moving, and he's a messenger. You can also see that he's moving this, and he's really, really fast messenger. See, leaving the comfort, leaving even that support, maybe a wife, maybe husband, something that had a structure. And he's saying, I really have one life. Look at that. The tower is looming right underneath this one. And here, it's like, what kind of world I want to build for myself? What do I want? Do I want to go back in the structures that I had, or want to explore something new? It looks like the Sagittarians are torn between the old and the new. And old is very tried and true. Old is like something that everybody will tell you should stick there. The society will support it. So hence, let's say husband and wife. A new is somebody you love. And for you, it's a horrible decision. Horrible. And this is like something that I have seen along the years with you, was very prevalent with you and with Scorpios. So you have water signs, you have fire signs over here that I see, right? So I also see number 4. It's kind of like knowing where you stand. Somebody wants authority in a situation. Somebody wants to put their foot down. Kind of like you are really visionary again, and that is really, really important, right? So let's see. And you have love. And it's a love here. And you want to choose love. It's very sweet. Like you're like, to me, I always perceive you Sagittarians like as Peter Pans. You're able to keep that lightness forever. And even when I met few Sagis who were kind of like old-fashioned and everything, after talking to them for a while, then you realize this is just a mask that they feel they have to have in order for society norms and so on and so forth. So now we have 6. So now we have a pick a card. And Mods will explain to you what it is. You can, guys, think of a question that you want to have answered. Make sure it's more or less in the format of yes or no. And I will be pulling 3 cards, 3 doors, left, middle, and right. So you can pick one. You pick one, and then the answers show up. So I'm going to hide this so I can grab a deck. I'm using Thought deck now. I can grab a deck and I can give you an answer. So decide immediately if it's going to be door 1, door 2, and door 3. Left, center, or right. Okay. Center and right. Okie dokie, let's remove this. There. Timestamp. Okay, so if you have picked the left, let's see what we have. Whoa, you got a special card and you got a science. 6 of Swords. Now, when I went to mystery school, right? We have used this, like, you know how every deck have those extra cards? We have really used that, and it was very indicative to, is it spiritual because this is like a blue and purple on the top, or is it just like very basic, you're just satisfying your, let's say, food dishes and everything. So for you guys, this is very spiritual. That can be very impactful on your karma. It talks about bridging, getting out of the situation that you found yourself in. You want some kind of resolution. It is a 6. So it can talk about other people. It can talk about trying to ease the burden of some sort. And the only way you see this happening is that this burden is eased by you kind of going in a completely new direction, right? So is it a yes? It's only a yes if you guys are listening to your authentic self and what is the best for you, and it's almost like telling you to move away from the situation. The number 2 is, we have the Hermit and we have Ace of Swords. Very, very powerful, guys. Maybe it's something still needs a little bit more thinking. You need to kind of like sort things out in your head, because Hermit is always about flash of introspection. He just moves because he doesn't want all of that interference. And this is why the biggest minds of our century and our previous century would always get some kind of mundane job just to survive, but the job that would not wreck their intellect, so they could still process a whole bunch of things. But let's say just putting the stamps, I think Einstein was like in patent bureau, he would just sign something up, but he could think about himself. But you guys have Ace of Swords, which is victory, which is like something is going to happen. It might feel like that you're thinking through, but once when you set your mind on it, it's going to come. It's done. And the door number 3, you have a Queen of Cups. She was reversed. So it could be a woman or somebody very emotional over here present, and that person will interfere. So I do not see this happening yet because of this interference. So you will need to, you might be placed in a defensive situation, unless this is you, unless she's crying, she's demanding, she's calling bloody murder, this kind of like personality. Unless this is you, be careful, because this is not going to be helping. So we will see. If you want more clarification, then we go in the second round. We can kind of like check some more. Hello, Lorna. Good morning. You came in the right time. So let's go in the second part of our reading right now. So Barbie is running the show, and I'm going to have a sip of my Tim Hortons coffee. The next one is Gemini. Okay, Gemini. So let's see what we see there. You chose 2. Good for you, Sally. Hopefully it was a good wish. For those of you who picked 3, that's not the probably answer you wanted to hear, but at least, you know, you're forewarned that somebody will be doing things. And it could not be necessarily somebody you know. It could be that you do the legal thing and that you're going to one of those bureaucrats and they're creating hell for you in kind of like getting this done. So Gemini, this is coming through. It does sound like you just like 5 of Wands, kind of like sound a little Gemini to me. And let's do 2 more. So one is going to be again 2 of Cups. This is the Scorpio that's coming through toward this Mercury retrograde. You guys have a really interesting thing. It's almost like there is like some kind of like love relationship or some kind of union or some kind of partnership, but you are not just laying down your swords. You are setting up. This is very, very healthy. You are having, before this moves forward, and look at how clean it moves forward. It moves forward not only to be that embrace, but also to go and last long term. Why? Because you set every single boundary. You have discussed lots of things. You have met different people, and you have kind of like tried to figure out if you can deal with it or not, right? Ileana, number 3 was pretty much no. It's going to be interference by a person who is going to be extremely demanding, extremely emotional, unless this is you, right? So this really talks that you might have 5 people around you that might be like different opinions. Somebody might be giving you 5 strike, so you need to do this and this and this. Like generally this card talks about, if you really go in etymology of the card, all of these dudes should present different religions, and so all of them are trying here to say it's mine, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. So it's this push and pull where they intersect is actually the most important kind of part, and how they intersect, so they can start making consensus, they can start kind of like seeing where they are alike, but also how far deep they will tolerate without this being a burden. So this is just like in a relationship, that we need to decide how far we align this person and how soon to go in your life. And it looks like you did this like groundwork, and this groundwork is paying off. There's like a soulmate and something that lasts. You're setting something up on the proper ground, and off you go. And there it is. The balance is here. Zen. I'm almost like seeing you guys doing yoga as well. It's like, I mean, this is lovely when you have readings like that. What can I tell you, right? So there's one person in the group who I want to get away from. I guess she's not going to let go easily. Huh. That sucks. It sucks, right? Like humans, who said it? I love mankind, but humans are that I don't like, right? That's always stuck with me. Libra, we did you, Libra. You were first, so happy birthday again. Yeah, don't lose hope. This October, I'm telling you, it's going to be so tough. And it's going to be argumentative. Police might get involved. Family coming out from the woodwork. People pointing fingers, blaming. Mercury in retrograde in Scorpio. This is like two vile animals putting together in the same cage. So the fur is flying everywhere, and we are in the middle of that cage. So that's kind of like understand. So now we have Capricorn next. Capricorn. And after Capricorn, I'm pulling the cards from my mods again. So Capricorn. Let's see what we have for you. Capricorn. Capricorn. Shuffle. Okay, let's cut. Something is going to be organized properly this week. You're having Six of Pentacles, you have Knight of Wands, and you have Two of Pentacles. So it could be kind of like reconnecting with people, or it could be that somebody is coming to you for help, financial help most likely, and you are kind of like a little bit burdened with that, but only to extend that, how do I give to this one and not to this one, kind of like you are trying to kind of like figure things out. But this is really interesting, and this might be you coming through, or this might be someone coming in your life who is very exciting, who kind of like has so many life experiences, and they don't kind of like talk about it in an arrogant way. Oh, I have been in Bali, I have been this, I have been this. No, this is almost like a doer, kind of like, hey, I know it's a freaking pandemic, but let's think of something, let's do something, let's just go into nature, let's do photography. It's always like they are kind of like on a go, and I really think it's going to be appealing to you very much, right? It's interestingly that there's generosity and somebody observing you doing that diligently, even though this is talking about measured generosity, right? That's why it's one of these two cards with the scales, but almost like that I also have scales here, because this has to be held in the perfect balance in order for not everything to drop. Like, it could be some kind of like level of commitment that you're doing, and you're feeling that maybe you're not overly ready, or the other party is feeling the same way, because this can talk about juggling. And look at this is really not good. These boats are all kind of like in panicky. What is really interesting to me, how they are showing, is they're showing his hat, that it almost looks like it's grown in the clouds. So right, so this is not necessarily how we would experience things in 3D. And kind of like he also has the foxtail here, as you're seeing. He's a trickster of some sort, and yet he's trying to mesmerize possibly these boats into coming close where they will kind of like break this. So it's followed here with another 6. You might be meeting a person who you would think it's a perfect for you, but be very careful. This person could have somebody else as well, and it might feel costly, not only financially but also kind of like engagement wise. So I would just take it with a grain of salt. You're not going to be able to resist the person who is like so enthusiastic, but be very careful of the fact that this person could be dealing with other partners and with the other issues that are happening. So let's get Capricorn. Another card. Tenderness. And look at that black kitty. Tenderness. This person is not tender, but maybe they need tenderness. Maybe this is something they need. Maybe they would not be wishy-washy like this, and because they probably run because they don't feel that they have soft spot to fall. And once when they feel that, hey, somebody is actually going to listen to them, believe them, try to give them a proper advice, you know, like that tenderness, like, I mean, that every human should deserve, maybe things will get better, right? So that's something too, needing to be looked upon. So what is Barbie saying? It's card for mods, okay? Is it okay, guys, for Yogi to go first? I feel she needs this message. Sure. Okay, so let me have a sip of coffee here. Okay, Yogi. Let's do the Yogi first. All you need is love. And she is alone here. She is full of the heart. So this is almost changing your vibrational mode, and that is really, really important card, right? That's almost like encompasses everything together. You need to love yourself, you know, give yourself a proper bath, some bath salts, some nice aromatic oils, do your yoga, and just do the most loving things you can do for yourself. Prepare yourself a nice meal, and you know, things are going to work out because you're in tune with the universe. This is the language of the universe. So I'm not afraid for you. Okay, so since Kylie so nicely asked for her, so let's go with Kylie next. You are getting strength. And this is one of my favorite things. Like, did you not have the peace under the tree? Now the same tree hugged the tree. And I like to do that because hugging the tree gives me the energy. So kind of like tap into the strength and kind of like do it kind of like for yourself. Strength is also about communicating without being explosive and kind of like pushing through and kind of like getting through. So that's really, really important. So is Sally here still? So she is, I think. So let's do Sally. Yeah, meditation would help. Sally, depth. Yeah, Sally, you're figuring out certain things inside of you, who you really are. And maybe the depth means you're looking like certain things like many years back. And it's kind of weird, like, I mean, there is a protection over here, but nonetheless, you're going to something that is really challenging. So it's kind of good because if you have this depth, if you have the repair of the things, then the tower don't show up because you have pre-repaired it before things got really, really tricky. Who else did I miss? Chris, I guess, and Barbie. Chris, responsibility, there you go. Looks like you have some other people that you have to carry on your shoulder. You're trying to figure out what is the best way and how to do things well for everybody, but you're more than willing to take that responsibility. And Barbie, the upcoming birthday girl. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? I think that will be all. Barbie, you have education. Are you going to be assisting something, or are you going to be studying something? You will be, hello Isa, hello Sweet Joy, or will you be kind of like overseeing some kind of like pupils or kings, or transferring your knowledge? Well, education is a big thing. Clearly it's telling you need to kind of like look in some matter deeper. So it's going to be really, really important. I think I did them all. If I didn't, scream, right? So now we are going to finish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 4 more, and then you'll have another pick a card. So who is next? Next is Aquarius. Aquarius. So Aquarius. All right. Aquarius. Aquarius. How very Capricorn, I know. Like you, Chris, were thinking, why it doesn't tell me like live crazy, live adventurously. No, there you go. Responsibility. You'll see now we Aquarians, we just go crazy, and we really want things to tone down. That's always the case, right? Welcome, Isa. Aquarius. So Aquarius is Ace of Wands, something gold, something sprouting, the energy. Well, I start getting my energy, like my doctor said that I probably have anemia, and that kind of like was the part of my, oh hi Isabel from Mexico, so nice to see you, I love you. Such nice messages. You had COVID, right? And Jesus Christ, like I mean, this is really destroying our entire planet. It's so hard to get through it. So you guys, we guys have Ace of Wands, we have a Knight of Swords, but we also have Temperance reversed. So certain things that we want cannot happen. They're like other people who are not willing to meet us halfway. Or something from the past that is quote unquote being resurrected, that seems to be flying with all the wings forward, might not work out. It's not the best idea. I mean, everything is starting in a really nice way. We are very excited. We are really willing. Like, I mean, this is like a highly phallic card, right? Something is showing out of nowhere and saying, look, it's going to grow. It's going to go further. Generally, it can talk about the old partners reappearing, talking, debating, and so on and so forth, right? But this Knight of Swords is saying, yeah, let's do it. Let's go. And you're saying, oh, wait a minute. I don't want to say I do to a marriage to somebody I didn't see for 20 years, but it's exciting kind of a thing. So, oh, never mind about that. Like, let's just keep going, and you can pull any time that you want. Yeah, what they forgot is like what Chris said, responsibility. Aquarians also ruled with Saturn. I mean, with Uranus too, but we are also very responsible. When we give our word, we want to kind of like get through it, right? So it's very, very important. So this card here, and that was coming through the October readings, but look at it. She is in the water and she is breathing. So Sagittarians is usually Sagittarians are represented with this card. So why? Right, so she is merging two very different things, fire and water. And the Fool comes and says, okay, what are you doing? Because she's also a fish and a dog. But what is Sagittarian? Sagittarian is a centaur, where the top part is the male, it's the human, and the bottom one is a horse. So there are like these two elements that have been kind of like merged together in something spectacularly unique, and something kind of like that we all kind of like really like. So when this card shows up, it means that we shouldn't be expecting that the differences can be bridged. So which is nothing bad about it. Like, right, if somebody is very different from us, you know, maybe we had some kind of, let's say, connection when we were 20 with them, maybe when they were 30, then we lost contact. Now we are 40, and they live in the slums. They don't want to wash themselves. They are not ambitious. So there is not the same vision, and like, I mean, it cannot be glued. Nobody will change. You will not change, and they will not change. And that is like something that needs to be honored and understood over here. So yeah, Isabel, I really, really hope you recover. I'm doing Reiki every Sunday. So just to let you know, all of you included. So I'm just trying to kind of like do this healing on my end. I just cannot heal the whole world. That's not how it works. But I'm focusing on my channel and on you. And it sounds like many of us have been so far going through it. Resilience. Yeah, it would make sense. I do have one of these rebounders at home. And resilience is very important, that things don't get us down, they don't bog us down, that we understand that not maybe everything is doable, but you know, like, journey can be fun, and that sometimes that is needed. Like, I guess this whole pandemic put us in a kind of like different world where we feel like a big constraints and it doesn't have any end in sight. So for the signs that need to communicate, that are big communicators, such as basically air signs, it's like twice as hard. So this is talking about keep yourself freaking busy with something, get a trampoline. I should probably take it out from my study and put it somewhere where I actually can jump on it and not being vertigo, and just do something about it. Besides, guys, this is the best known exercise known to man. So maybe, you know, the whole structure and the feeling and the healing is going to just be shaken just by doing that simple exercise, because apparently the rebounder, and it doesn't have to be a rebounder for you, it can be nature, it could be something that, you know, you're building yourself up, and that can be also your brain muscle. But I'm just like literally taking this message for something that kind of like I would take the message for, which is literally you need to heal and put in proper vibrations of the cells, all the cells from your body. So that's going to be interesting. Really healthy. You know, like my I repaired my eyes with rebounder. It went from glasses to nothing, and they couldn't believe it. They were looking if I have the contact lens like stuck somewhere on my eye. Like, I mean, really, really very much. They said, okay, you had the both myopia and what do you call it? Like, I had the both, I couldn't see short and far. I was seeing somewhere in the middle. They said, oh my God, like, and then both of them are gone. We do sometimes hear about simultaneously healing of one, but not of both. So that was all rebounder. So there you go, guys. You want to repair your eyes? That's a good way to go. See you next Saturday. So Sally left, okay? Thank you for being here. You gotta go. So who is next? So it was Aquarius, and now we are going to have Cancer. Let's see what we see with Cancer. Guys, does anybody here have somebody that can recommend? I have a friend of mine. She's of a marriage age. She is in her mid-30s. She's a really gorgeous looking girl, successful, and brown eyes, dark hair, and it's time for her to marry and have children. If you know anybody who you would like to recommend, somebody on that level, she's tall, so this person should be tall, let me know, okay? That kind of like would be very, very interesting, because it would be good to do it on this level. So Cancer, you got your cards, and I don't know, for some reason I feel that I have to look at them that way, because they were like almost like twirling there. So you have Queen of Cups, which is you. You see, this deck has the Horn one, which is the devil, but this is sort of a positive card in this deck. But then you have the Tower. It almost looks to me they're like, I mean, few concepts over here. But there's like somebody who is very refined, who is like very gentle in the situation, right? But there is somebody who is very rough, or somebody could be very outdoorsy person, and that's another one would be, no, I'm indoor eating and I want everything proper. That kind of like a storm. Almost looks to me that there's going to be a clash in between those two personalities, that you will really need to reconcile what is that you want. It's kind of interesting because she has the shawl, and the shawl is almost like blowing in the wind. It's almost like passing over here, where he is living in his cave. He's like super happy where he is. He even has his little fox being next to him and kind of like almost like watching over him, right? And does he have he has these horns, but it's also a deer over here, which means that he's completely in tune with the nature. And maybe it was some kind of like a fated meeting over here. And that's very typical of you guys. You're very romantic. You are also very open-minded. You met somebody who just doesn't fit the bill. But it's so interesting because this person is not falling into the boxes that we kind of like determine. Oh, you know, you don't have this much money, you go into this box. Oh, you don't dress well, you go to this box. And we're always having this hierarchy. This person doesn't have the hierarchy. This person is strong as it is, right? I don't know if you ever watch Schitt's Creek, right? It was this dude that, what's her name, Alexis, met, who she thought was homeless, right? And yet she was like very, very attracted. So almost like something like that is happening here. And I think both of you are very, very strong in your attitudes. Then the tower has to happen. And it's telling you, you need to start something all over. And this is usually happening here. Both of you are upright. Neither of you did anything wrong. Nobody was pushing anything on the other person. I think this is almost like a help to understand that other side, to understand how this can gel, that both of you need to make some concessions, that both of you need to kind of like move forward and do things. So that's going to be very, very important, right? So, well, thanks, Kylie. I'm just putting the feelers out, so we will see what happens. And then purpose. There is a purpose over here. Yeah, and I think this purpose, like, look, it's climbing the mountain, it's the sun, and some clarification will need to happen. Certain things might feel tense, but again, they need to be repaired. So both people want certain things to happen. This is really, really good. So that's now a case of people who are different, but who want to work it together, and they have to figure out how to make it together. That can be in personal life, that can be within the family, that also can be like at work of some sort, right? So something is moving forward, but it has to be repaired to be done properly. Actually, one more card flicked, and when you make this decision, you're going to make really, really quick strides forward, Cancer. I mean, it's a night, and many people don't know when they see Cancer, they don't think that Cancer moves very fast. It moves very, very fast. And the Chariot, which rules your sign, is also ruling all the nights. So that really, really helps, right? So it's Aries moon and also the harvest moon as well. So yeah, it's early October for sure. And what do we have left? We have 2 left, and we have, I think this is Leo. I really like pulling them out so it doesn't feel unfair. Leo, and that will be okay. So let's see, Leo, what do we have for you? What do we have for you, Leo? Leo. 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 All right. Leo and Leo and Leo. So what do we have here is the Lovers reversed. Then we have Strength. 2 majors, and then we have 9 of Cups. So you need to stabilize, guys. It looks to me that something didn't work out, right? It's interesting. This is one of those Lovers cards. He's professing her love, and there's like somebody in the shadows. Like it's maybe not that the woman exists, but look, she's like in that drapes. She's in this curtain shower, whatever it is, right? And this is really talking about something you don't want to be in the shadows. Leo, like, you're supposed to be on the pedestal. You're the king of the jungle. The lioness is even the one who is the stronger. And this is your card coming through. So again, it goes down to when your card comes through, I take it way more seriously, because you are getting the angels coming through. You're saying, no, you're repairing yourself. You're working yourself. You're going in a good direction. And this direction is to really be happy with everything that you have had so far, your accomplishments, including rejections, whether that was you rejecting someone or somebody rejecting you. It looks like there was like something else lingering over there. It looks like there was like something else happening. When the Lovers card reverses, and it's really interesting, Lovers, generally it's not Lovers card, but it's more like a choice card. Somebody has chosen not to choose you, or you have chosen not to choose someone, and there's like this big motion forward. But there is like this big energy. There is like, look at, in this particular case, we don't see lions, right? We see we do see a lion head, almost like a crest, almost like a pride of the family, but there's like this white horse and this boar, like, I mean, just like going right through with like with a huge enormous force. It's a man, not a woman, and it says it's a triumph, right? So there is like an essence of you understanding that whatever happens was something that pushed you in the right direction, and the right direction it is. Because to me, I always want to see this card before I tell people, okay, off you go, you should try to form a family, look for your mate. This card is like, you're really happy where you are. Oh my gosh, thank you very much. Mexico numbers. So it's 29. I see 29 is 11 and 1. So I see 111. That's a like nice message, right? So from one Aquarian to another one. So Nine of Cups is the card that really talks about pulling ourselves together and understanding what we need, understanding what we love. You guys are lingering over something here, but something new that is happening, and it's kind of like in the wings for you, is very, very, very powerful. It looks like you came from the situation that some differences couldn't be bridged, right? So 6 and 8 is temperance, and temperance is always playing with creating this new element. So let's say when two people come together, they're not so much individuals, they're forming and creating something new, including babies. And there was some issue along these paths, so that's very, very important. So thank you, Isa. And you have intention, and look at this is golf playing. What you need for golf, you need to have a good eye, you need to have some training, you need to aim at the goal, right? Which I think you're doing here with this Triumph card. So you're like setting your intentions, where you want to go, how you want to go, in order more or less to keep you on track. And initially it's going to be, I need to feel comfortable doing it, and being comfortable is very, very important, right? Alrighty. And what else do I have here? Who else we didn't read? Usually when I have the other thing, I would see which sign is glaring. I think one more is left, and that one is Virgo. Oh, Virgo, you're coming last. You're coming last. And let's put them all others back. Virgo. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. Hi, CBO Music. Hello. Hello, hello. The old crowd is coming back now that I'm back into the weekly written. Like I'm in sweet joy. This is so freaking awesome to see. I'm glad to see the old crowd. Makes me happy. Love the coffee like that in the morning. CBO Music, that's a little musical lady. So the last one is Virgo. Virgo, let me mark the stamp down. Okay, and okay, Virgo. Oh, you're listening while driving to the farmer's market. Must be nice. Of course. So Virgo, we have King of Swords. A sun is coming through. I'm thinking also to pick up Tiger and go back to that park that we went yesterday. I don't know how many people will be there, but it will be fun to go for another walk. So Ooh, you have King of Swords, you have the Lovers. You're dealing with kind of like very abrasive energy, I really have to tell you. You Virgos like to feel comfortable. I used to sit surrounded with Virgos in my last bank job. Like, I mean, almost every manager was a Virgo in this bank. And they all cherished the shoes, and they were wearing the shoes, and there was lots of conversation about that. And we're talking about people with master's degree, like in banking, right? And the food, and like my first neighbor, she was a director, and she would always get this kale salad. It's like, how can you eat that, right? But it was like it health food and this and this and this. It was really, really amazing. So now you're dealing with some kind of energies that are not necessarily yours, because this is air and this is air. This is coming to yours, and it's not going to be working on your terms. It will be working on somebody else's terms. They're like somebody who is overpowering you, but that somebody is very fair. Somebody is saying it is your time. You deserve that time. King of Swords is like the most honest, the most appreciative person that you can meet, right? So he is basically, he would even decide against himself if he feels that, you know, like certain things are not going well, right? So that's kind of like how it can work. And the Lovers is like saying, look, you need to choose really wisely. It's almost like that somebody is nagging you about the choices in your life, or maybe somebody's pressuring you. I was just listening on the radio while driving home from Walking Tiger that women in Asia, South Asia, China, and in Africa are being pressured in early marriages because pandemic is making their families feeling very impoverished. So to them, this is a way of quote unquote getting some money from the other family. And so very, very young girls, as young as age of 11, are now being pressured in marriages. I'm not seeing that you have pressure like at the age of 11, but I'm feeling that this could actually mean a marriage, but this marriage is out of love, and it is with somebody who is very vibrant, who has like enormous like beautiful ideas, but who is not pragmatic. So it's somebody who is like up in the clouds, and that can create some problems over here. So that I have to tell you. So look at the baby's overpowering me. It's cute. So let's see, responsibility over here. So yes, this is you guys. You're kicking in. You're saying this is very nice. You want to fly. You want to walk on the top of the airplane. Yeah, it can be a thrill, but how about we are responsible and we don't do that? Something like that would be happening over here, right? So just keep in mind, Virgo, somebody will be really pushing you out from whatever feels comfortable for you, but they really love you. They really kind of like feel they're doing the right thing. So that's kind of like interesting. Glad to hear, Ileana. So okay guys, now is the last one. Pick the card. This is for everybody. And so if mods want me, we can continue these angel cards in the future, or some form of it, Lenormand, whatever I will be choosing in the stage. But let me hide this a little bit so I can shuffle cards in peace without you seeing what is jumping out. There we go. Let's go again with thought. So you ask yourself a question, and I'm focusing on my question. It's kind of weird. I cannot focus on my question because then the cards will give me my answer. So no, I have to focus on you. Let's focus on you. And then I'll pick the door when all three are done. Focus on the live readings, people who are asking the answers. And if you mods can also go on the monthlies, and just in the comments, each of you just leave, also join us on Saturday morning live, and you can get the answer for yourself, you know, and it's for free, so that people can, it's kind of like a little bit more vibrant. So I have one, I have the door number 1, okay, I have number 2, and do I have a number 3? I have number 3. Okay, so I have 3 of them over here. Let's which one is this? Oh, here it is. Let's remove this and go back, put the timestamp. Okay, So if you thought of a left door, you got gain discs. This is Nine of Pentacles. This is moving forward. This is a good place to go. You're feeling comfortable. It's a comfort question. It's accomplishment question. And the answer is yes. And on your own, you can do it. Like, it doesn't depend on anything else. So if you know what you need to do to get there, do it, because you're going to get there. Number 2 is the Emperor. And the Emperor is like stability. It is being in control. It's authority. If you need a male to kind of like help you in the situation, you're asking for a male. Somebody's going to come like your way. The answer would be yes as well. But it's going to be a little bit kind of like, if you're asking for a man that is going to be very manly man, it's not going to be lots of negotiation, kind of like it's very set in his kind of like things. But it's also on different levels talk about, you know, accomplishing yourself, taking care of everybody else, and yet, you know, you need so many things to rule, so hence you're trying to kind of like stay at top of the things and educate yourself. But ultimately being in control is really, really important in this situation. And the last is we have reversed Temperance, and something is ungluing. Look at that. We have the Lion, and then we have an eagle drinking some concoctions between, I don't know, some herb and water in the hot water. And I don't really know how this works, but apparently it works. Even she cloned herself. She made something else, but it's reversed. And I think everything is falling apart in this number 3. The wish that you want, unless it was something negative. I think if you want something negative, then this will be, yeah, that will fall apart. But if you wanted something positive, it still will take time for things to actually really jive and gel, and it's not going to come natural. So since this is unnatural, I can also talk about, I guess, somebody's ending as well. I'm sorry to say, that's kind of like what I see it. And these are very strong answers. We actually did get 2 major arcana. So there you go. Guys, this was like a nice chatting together, hour and a half together on Saturday. It's going to be so much fun during the fall and winter. If you want a reading with me, just contact me. My email is mysticcattaro@gmail.com. You can also see it probably down, or simply kind of like via my website as well, that you can kind of like check out and see what you need. Isabel, thank you so much for your donation. I really always appreciate it. It always helps. If nothing else, my kitty cats get special treats, so that kind of like makes them happy. I always tell them it's from Cat Tarot, so they know. So that's why Safi comes and honors it. So let's play some music to say goodbye, and hopefully everybody has a wonderful rest of the day. And we are going to see you next Saturday. Remember, general rule, October is going to be tough. Before the 22nd is going to be clashes with the authority, clashes with the police, clashes with the boss. Even if you're 100% right, you'll be accused that you're wrong. You'll have a hard time proving it. And after the 22nd, could be clashes with the partners and big intensity, and all partners coming through and saying it's all or nothing. And for some, it will really work out. For some. And for the most, it can be paranoid, it can be suspicious. Some things can be coming in the surface. So that's what I'm saying. It's going to be a tricky month. Oh, Elana, you're so cute. She says you're the best tarot reader I've seen on YouTube. You gain a new loyal viewer. I'm so glad to hear it. And I wish you all the best. Please send me a note about your baby. And I'm already feeling everything will be okay. It's just like so weird, the baby saying cesarean. It was like actually really cute. You're going to have a charmer. You're going to have somebody who is going to be very extroverted. So everybody have a wonderful, wonderful time. Let's play some short music, and I'll see you next Saturday, 11 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. Best, I love you, and all the best. Congratulations on the outcome. Bye.